CY, commiserations for the loss. I don't know if this means that you guys are qualified to do Malta or not, but what's your thought about this series?
I think it's unfortunate game one because we lost so hard in early game. Like we had some major issues in the early game when he gets the rune and kills my carry and like slightly losing lanes a little bit. So the game is kind of rough and MOUZ is like good at pushing tempo. So it kind of suits them very well. So we didn't really get to play first game. Second game was very winnable at many points. Especially early game, I thought even though Nature's Prophet had a bit rough game, I know our draft could beat them pretty hard. Like if they don't get to way later, but they somehow did, and you know in the end they clutched it out and won. So a bit unfortunate to also lose 2-0, I think.
Since you joined Navi post TI, what's the the team culture difference between the previous one and Navi right now?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I think on GG it was probably the oldest roster on average, like me included. I'm an old guy, and this is like the youngest probably because like there's like barely anyone over 20 on this roster.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a bit different energy. I do feel like it's very professional. Also, I was maybe expecting them to be like in a way like less professional just because they're younger, but like they keep it very cool and like calm, and honestly they're also pretty nice to be around, and like I quite enjoy it. Like even though of course it has been a bit rough with results, but we have seen some improvements. But I'm having a lot of fun like working with like a lot of new energy basically, I would say.
Right. So the next one will be, since we have Navi Junior and then they upgraded into Navi, but do you think that the regeneration of Eastern European player is brighter comparing to other regions?
Yes, I think it's way brighter. I think the Eastern European region, the CIS region, is gonna like produce 90-80% of all future talent in Dota. It's a bit unfortunate. Like I remember all the way back to Dota 1, like when Chinese was like the most dominating, and like nowadays I think there's a very little player base in Europe. Like for example, there also used to be a lot of Danes, like where I'm from, and like Swedes and stuff like that. But we also don't see a lot of new players from those regions. So I think it will just be like new CIS talent, like Satanic, like these guys, and so on. Yeah.
All right. Two last questions, CY. So what's next for Navi in 26 with you?
So I mean, we're just gonna continue like trying to improve. Like I don't think it's like you do something very different. Of course you adjust your approach all the time, like try to focus on different things. But I think most things we have been focusing on, because there had been a lot that we had to work on, has been improving. I still think there's a lot of inconsistency. I think there's a lot of maybe early game that needs to be better. I think it needs to be more crisp. And perhaps some late game decision making or clutching it out. But again, it's not something you can just like teach and like learn really quickly. Like it takes time to build these things in Dota, but I do think the guys have what it takes to get there.
All right. The last question will be, what do you think for playing here in Chengdu, China?
I like it. We were playing like in my old team like in August here in China as well. Not too far from Chengdu as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Like obviously there was a bit more crowd there because we were also playing some Chinese teams, but there's like a lot of hype. Like the Chinese fans are like very dedicated. I didn't even know we had so many fans. We were doing signing session there, and like there were so many people lined up. So it's great to be in China again. I do enjoy it. Yeah.
All right. Pleasure to talk with you, CY. Good luck for 26. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.